Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Soccer Showdown by Zon Podcast. Breaking news. Well, first of all, Martino Puccio, Gio Cozzolino. Breaking news out of the MLS came out late last night. Bastian Schweinsteiger, German midfield legend, Bayern legend, not so much a Manchester United legend, signed a one-year deal with the Chicago Fire of the MLS last night. So he comes over. This is one of the bigger signings they've had probably since Pirlo in the league. I mean, there's been rumors about Zlatan Ibrahimovic leaving Manchester United at the end of the season, going to become the highest paid player in MLS history. But this is just a one-year deal. It's nothing crazy. It doesn't look like anything long-term as of right now. But he's only born in 1984. He's going to turn 33 this year. He's relatively young. Considering a move to the MLS, when most players that move to the MLS are really at the back burner of his career. I mean, he hasn't played that much since he moved to United a couple years ago. What are your thoughts on this? How important is this that he just doesn't go to New York or in LA? He goes to Chicago.
He's finally gone to, a bit of a small market team, or
Chicago's a major market,
right?
But
I'm just lesser market than.
But
California.
when you think MLS, you don't think
You don't
Chicago.
think of the Fire.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a great signing. I mean, you did mention that he didn't really play for Manchester United much, which was kind of shocking. You know, he was still 32, 31 when he moved there. 32.
And he's 32 right now.
32
so
now,
he
so
moved. He
was
only like 30.
Yeah. So
especially for a midfielder too. That's
it was
not
shocking.
old at all.
It was definitely shocking to see that he didn't I didn't see any dip in form. Maybe he got injured or things like that.
There were injuries with him. He kind of fell out of favor with Van Gaal, and then Mourinho
and he never
came
really
in.
got a chance to bounce back.
No,
but like you said, it is a huge signing. I'm glad to see him go to the Fire. It is a 1-year deal, but you never know. He's maybe experimenting with the deal, seeing how the MLS is. Yes, there is the ongoing concept of MLS being a much less competitive league and whatever, and a retirement league and their
narrative.
But that's what it's developing in America. That's what the MLS is, and to have a player like him, first of all, he's won a Champions League title. He's won
every major
title.
competition,
a World Cup, 8 league titles. With
I'm not
Bayern.
sure if he was on. Well, I think they haven't won the Euros recently. They who do you call it? Portugal just won that, but they did win. He went to tons of World Cup success. Did they go to the semifinals in 2010? They might have. I think they did.
Is that when Napoli? Sorry, Italy beat Germany in
2006. In 2006, the semifinals. No, in 2000.
No, I meant for the Euros.
Oh, for the Euros, yeah. They lost there, but he's won almost every single major trophy that you can think of.
He was Player of the Year in 2013 in the Bundesliga. He's literally has all the honors that you need to have a resume. He's a legendary player. Like you said, he's a legend, and he's to the MLS. It's big.
It's because a lot of people don't understand it. Yeah, you could call it a retirement league right now, but to gain interest from a country that is so invested in 4 other sports, professional sports, and not just those, college basketball, college football, whatever other sports you want to include in there. Also, soccer has been picking up, obviously, but to get a guy like that in that market, especially where it's just always dominated by the Bulls or even the Cubs right now,
right?
Because they have multiple baseball teams there. Even the Blackhawks have been great. To get a player like that for the Chicago Fire, yeah, I think it's a big move, because if you're just having guys going to L.A., like we were saying all the time, like Beckham or Gerrard, or even if Ibrahimovic goes over there, or Henry goes to the Red Bulls, or Pirlo and David Villa and Frank Lampard go to New York, it kind of just waters the league down just a little bit, because they're just going to these 2 markets instead. He's going to one of the major markets, which it's going to help out the league in the long run, even though it might just be for a year. But you don't know how many fans he can.
Yeah, he's going to generate so much more attendance to the Fire's crowd. I mean, I don't know the exact number. I'm sure they're not one of the highest selling out teams, or they don't have the same support that a California or New York market team would have.
Atlanta United has one of the highest season ticket holders already, and they just started. They just started their league
inaugural season. So I mean, I definitely think that it'll definitely generate more more fans, more
Star power.
star power. It's going to
Need
more
it.
revenue in the long run for the team. I
Mhm.
mean, over this year, I'm sure they'll generate a lot more than they did last year.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
oh yeah, go
No,
ahead.
no, no.
Finish that
You
last
can go
thought.
ahead. I was just saying. I think it's just positive all around for the Fire and the city of Chicago.
I think timing's right in general for both teams. I think Chicago needed a star. You can't really think of like a star. This is definitely the biggest name they've ever signed in the history of the club. And not even that. It's good timing for Schweinsteiger because I think he was done in Europe that first season didn't work out at United.
United.
And then come over here, just gain more publicity as a player because he was talented. He's a very talented player. He's not on Pirlo's level, but for avid fans who follow European soccer a lot, or just even international soccer, know how big of a deal and how good of a player he
Absolutely.
really
He was a
was.
common staple in Germany.
Mhm.
You couldn't have a Germany
That's
without
that's
a
the number one.
Schweinsteiger.
That's the number one midfielder you thought of before Mueller. Before
Mhm.
Mueller came along, or Tony Cruz. That was the guy for almost a decade
Right.
over there. So that's that. So Schweinsteiger signs for 1 year for the Chicago Fire. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it turns out well for him and the league, and hopefully he gains more interest as the league starts. They're really starting to pick up some traction. More teams getting added every single season. Players coming over still that not as old. 32 is relatively young, like we said. So we'll see what he's got left in the tank. But regardless, if he doesn't play to the top level that he did in Europe, because he obviously won't. But at the end of the day, I think it's a big time signing for Chicago and the MLS. We'll see how it plays out. I'm Martino Puccio, Gio Cozzolino. Listen in next time.
Thanks, guys.